boys and girls, it's art time with Mrs. Kime, and today we're going to be drawing a pile of Christmas ornaments. So go ahead and get all of your supplies together, and we're going to get started by warming up our hands. Let's rub our hands together, swiggle our fingers, open and close our hands, roll our wrists one way, and then roll them the other way. And we're going to be ready to make our project today. We're going to start by drawing the ornaments in the front here, these round ornament shapes. We're going to leave this bottom part right here white because I would like to come back and add some texture. We've talked about all these elements of art, and we're going to use a lot of them in this drawing today. So what I'd like for you to do is just start by drawing a few circle shapes. If you have a template and you want to use that to get the same shape over and over, you can. I'm just going to draw that shape. Some of you may not have it, but if you have a cup or a glass, you can always use that and trace that around to get that circle shape if you want. So I'm going to start by adding a few circles here. We're going to do something called overlapping too, and they're not all going to be right in the front there, but we're going to do overlapping where some of our circles are going to be behind the other ones. We're not going to see all of some of these ornaments. They're going to be back here. So then over here we're going to add some more circle shapes. We're just going to keep drawing these, kind of fill up our paper. And it's going to get smaller as you notice. The pile is going to get smaller as we go. It's going to be kind of like a pyramid shape. I'm going to have one on the top. So we have our pile of circle ornaments. And then what you have to do is decide which ones you're going to see the little tops and the hooks on them. So like this one, I think this would look great to put the top here and the hook here. And you can make a hook that goes like that, or you can make it a little bit different. I mean, maybe the top is just a little square. You could make a hook that kind of curves around. You decide what you want to do. Since you're using pencils, you can go through and erase a few things, which is fine. I'm going to make this one here. And then I'm going to make this one come right here. It's just very interesting if we can make some of these go in different directions. I am planning to put some garland in the front, so I'm not going to do any hooks going down this way because I want to add something down this little white area in just a little bit. So you go ahead and add hooks. Some of yours you might not even be able to see them, so they might be behind here somewhere. Like some of these ornaments right here, I'm not going to add a hook to it. I'm going to just put one right here. And then I'm going to put one going this way. I think it is more interesting if we can put them in different directions. And having our eye look around our paper a little differently is way more interesting. You can do skinny, tall ones like that, or you can do these short, flat ones like this. It's up to you. And like I said, you can just do a plain hook also, if you would like. So I'm going to add a few more here, get those in there, decide where I think I need some more. This is making a little bit of a pattern all over our paper. I think this one I'm going to put right here. And that one I'm going to have hiding. And I think that might be good for right now. I can always go back and add it. And now I'm going to add some garland. You can choose to do garland, or you can add greenery, like Christmas tree greenery, pine. So a garland shape would be where you take and draw kind of a curvy line like this, and then you would add these really close together lines off of it. It's going to look a little bit like the pine too. You can do this. Add this shape, and it can go overlap some of your ornaments here. You want to come off both sides of that line, and you want these to be very close together. Now, if you don't want to do this with a pencil and you want to use a crayon, you can do this part with a crayon if you want to. I'd like to go ahead and add some of this so I know where I'm working. If you want to add this after you finish coloring your ornaments, you can too. That's your choice. And if I wanted to do a pine shape like Christmas tree, so it would be kind of like a branch like this, and then it would come off of here like that, and then I would add these short little lines off of here. And it is a lot like the garland. This is like tinsel garland that you put on trees. I'm showing you both ways, that way you can choose what you want to do. But you decide what you want to do. So the tinsel would be longer and they'd be quicker strokes because it's going to be thinner. And the Christmas tree pine would be these shorter, thicker strokes, and they're a little more deliberate in how you put them on there. So you can choose, and that's adding texture. Remember, we've talked about texture. The next step to your ornaments is to decide where your light is going to hit. Remember, we've talked about that on the sphere, and we plan ahead. So we need to decide where our highlights are going to be and make it the same on all the ornaments. So I'm going to decide to put the highlights at the top left, that the light is coming in that way. So I'm going to go ahead and block off the highlight areas so that I don't forget. And you can make them curved, like the shape of your ornament. And some of them might be smaller, some of them might be bigger. But this is the same spot for all of the ornaments. I want you to go ahead and add your highlight area. Go ahead and block that off. This one's going to be a small one. He's back further. This is going to be a small one right there. But we want to go ahead and add that. And then the next thing you want to do is add your color. And you get to do whatever you want to with color. So I want you can use markers, pencils, you can use crayons, use whatever you want to. But remember, we've blocked off our highlight area, so don't add color to that area. But we're going to do a little bit like I'm going to show you on this one. I want to color this one in red. And this looks back on a few of our projects that we've done before, the sphere and the op art, is when we can add our shadows and our highlights. Now we just added the highlight with the white that we've blocked off. And then we're going to color it in this area where it is peeking out behind these other ornaments. We're going to do our little trick with the gray crayon. And we're going to go back and we're going to add a shadow down in here to make it look like that ornament is behind these other ones. So we add that shadow right in here a little bit. Now remember, you can do everything very lightly and you can come back and add more later. It's always a really good idea to try to do that. We're going to add that there, and as you start to add more color to your ornaments and your shadows, you're going to see that it's starting to look more three-dimensional, and that they have form, which we've talked about. Now on this ornament, it's coming behind two of them. So I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow behind both of these little areas right here to show that. He's kind of peeking out behind that one. And so I'm going to keep switching colors so that you can see the difference in doing these little shadow areas right in through here. I'm going to put this blue up here so you can see. Remember, you're doing whatever colors you want, however you want to do it. I'm just going to color right on top of that hook because it doesn't matter. Go ahead and add the blue all over. Then I'm going to take the gray and I'm going to add the highlight right here because it's definitely going to be down in this bottom area where it's coming out around these other ornaments. And you're going to add all of that, keep going around. And as you can see, our ornaments start to look like they have form. They have highlights and shadows. So I want you to finish coloring that in. If you decided to do pine, there's a few little tricks that you can do with that pine. You can add green on top. You might have switched to your crayons when you were drawing it. I was using my markers. You might have done it in pencil. It's up to you however you did it. But I can go through and I can add some green on top of that if I wanted to. If you have sparkly crayons, which I don't have with me right now, but if you have sparkly crayons, you could do that onto this part right here of the garland and make it look like it shimmers a little bit. So don't forget, you always want to add your name, sign your name to your work. I hope you enjoyed doing the pile of ornaments. But remember, sign your name, not mine. And I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time on Art Time with Mrs. Kime.